wanted to tell the story of the first time I ever got caught drinking. So, like, caught by my parents, I guess. Caught by anybody, but the first time I got caught drinking, I had gotten caught, by my mom and my dad. I was 17, I think. Yeah, I was 17, and I was at my boyfriend at the time's house. It was him, his best friend at the time, and me and one of my friends at the time. And we were drinking gin. This is one of the only times I've ever, like, drank gin. But that's what they had, and that's what we were drinking. And we were, just drinking, and I didn't want to drink that much because I didn't want to get caught because I knew I was getting picked up and taken home later with my friend. So we drank just like a little bit. We danced and we hung out and whatever. And I was like, all right, well, we're leaving. And my mom picked us up. She didn't notice. Don't know how. And the house that I grew up in had a basement. So we decided, since we were going to, well, back up. My boyfriend and his best friend, I said, I still want to keep drinking after we leave since I couldn't drink that much while we were here. So he gave us a water bottle, filled it with gin, and I put it in my purse, and, you know. So we did that, and so like I was saying, the house I grew up in had a basement. And since we knew we were going to be drinking, we said, oh, I don't want to stay in my room tonight. We want to, like, hang out in the basement so we have more privacy. We can, like, play music and, you know, we don't have to be, like, literally right next to your bedroom. And they're like, well, yeah, of course, that's fine. So we stayed in the basement. The basement in the house I grew up in didn't look like an unfinished basement. It like, was carpeted. It had furniture. There was a bar. At one point, there was a pool table down there. Like, the whole couch and entertainment area set up. So, like, it was like just an extension of the rest of the house. The laundry room was down there. So we kept drinking. I think, finished most of that bottle. That water bottle ended up disappearing. So I think my friend took that shit home with her, like, the next morning, because it was gone. And my mom was like, where the fuck did it go? I'm like, I don't know. It's, like, literally not here. I don't know. So we got drunk as fuck. I called my boyfriend, and I told him to come over. If you watched my last video, you already know why I called him to come over. I don't know how to get drunk and then not have sex. I don't know. I have a fucking problem. Like, an actual problem. Like, I need to go to therapy. I called him over, and I don't know what I thought I was going to be able to pull off, but that night was storming outside, like just a full-blown rainstorm, thunderstorm. It was so bad out. And he came over and he called, and I said, don't park in front of the house, park like a little further down, and then walk up and climb the fence, like those big wooden fences, climb the fence, and I'll meet you in the backyard, even though it was fucking raining. So, you know, in basements, they have like those little tiny windows, like up at the top, and like that's where the ground is. A lot of basements have them. Well, I'm really flexible. I was a dancer my entire adolescence. I danced for 14 years, ballet, tap, jazz, modern, some gymnastics. I did it all. So I was really flexible. So I was able to sneak out of my house via the little window. And it was really small. I wouldn't be able to fit it now, not because of the lack of flexibility, because I still have that, but because, like, I just think I'm too big. Like, everything's bigger. I weigh more now than I did as a 16-year-old, 17-year-old. So what I would do is I would reach up, put my arms and head through, and one of my feet through first, like, put my leg, like, up here, like, by my head, and I would put those things in first, and then shimmy out, and then let my other leg drag out, like, after me. It worked the best because I would kind of use my foot as, like, you know what I mean? It would help me kind of army crawl out instead of just using my arms, because then all this weight is dangling behind me. So I'd have to put one foot through with my arms and head, and then my last leg I would just slide through. Jesus Christ. So I decided I would do that, not giving a fuck that it was raining. And this night is in and out, okay? I remember a lot of it, but a lot of it was blacked out and got filled in through my friend, through my boyfriend, through his friend. So the way I'm telling it now is, you know, almost 15 years later, you know what I mean? Like, knowing exactly what happened. Like, if I would have had to have told this story, like, the week after, it may have been a different story, right? Like, with, like, bigger gaps, and you know what I mean, not really knowing, but this is years later, I know exactly what happened that night. So I did that, but, oh, yeah, this is one of those gaps. I think I may have crawled out naked, because my clothes were dry by the end of the night, and I wasn't. So, I don't know. I think I either got out with my clothes on and took my clothes off and threw them directly in the house, or I crawled, like, back into the window in the basement, or I crawled out naked. I don't remember. But I crawled out. I thought it was just going to be him, and he brought his fucking best friend, so apparently he got to watch us have sex. I don't know. It's so fucking embarrassing, and it's just fucking mortifying. Like, in my last video that I made, I talked about how, like, I wouldn't want to hear the shit that I did when I was drunk. This is why. Like, I would do embarrassing ass shit. So, I guess we had sex for quite a while in the backyard, right outside my parents' bedroom. I don't know how I didn't get caught in the act. I really fucking don't. But we had sex in the mud, in the dirt, in the fucking pouring down rain. And I didn't get caught for any of this. Until my dumbass made one really bad decision on top of all the other ones, of course. Instead of climbing back in that little window, I dove head first. Butt ass naked, I fucking dove head first through this tiny little window and crashed into the ground. Made so much noise. And my friend sat inside the whole time while I did that. I think she just sat there and kept on fucking getting drunk. You know, I think she was just sitting back, sipping on that fucking gin, not giving a fuck about what I was doing, right? So, she and I both were at least competent enough to know my parents are going to come downstairs. Had the alcohol, which I had her do, which I never found, so I think she took it. Like, I give a fuck. But she hid the alcohol. I got dressed super quick. And I just said, pretend you're asleep. Just lay on the couch and pretend you're asleep. The window's still open, by the way, and, like, rain's probably pouring in. You can see, like, I was covered in dirt, and I was filthy. It was sticks and leaves all in my hair, but I was like, just lay down and pretend you're asleep. They'll never know. And my mom came downstairs and was like, what was that? And I was like, so drunk. So I stood up. One of my titties is hanging out of my shirt. This is all according to my mom. I'm standing there. My clothes are completely dry. And I am soaking wet, covered in mud, sticks and leaves, literally from head to toe. And the first fucking thing out of my mouth was, whatever you're thinking, I did not have sex. What the fuck? To this day, that makes me cringe. Whatever you're thinking happened. Like, whatever you think, I did not have sex. Whatever you're thinking, I did not have sex. So my friend pretended to sleep for the rest of the night. She may have eventually passed out. My mom moved her up to the bedroom, and then my mom slept in the basement on the couch with me. And then the next morning, they asked me, I guess my mom asked me a bunch of questions while I was drunk. I don't remember any of this, but she asked how many people I'd had sex with. I told her. She asked me, like, if I'd done other drugs. I told her. Like, this was a whole mess. At this time, I was still pretty innocent. I had had sex with, like, 3 people, and I had smoked weed and drank alcohol. Like, that's a normal fucking 17-year-old, in my opinion. Maybe not in yours. I don't know. I don't think that's that weird. But I got grounded, to say the least. But then, after that, I got my wisdom teeth taken out. And I was on fucking painkillers for the next week. So the whole time I was grounded, I was high, so it didn't even fucking matter to me. Which I think that was my first introduction to painkillers. I didn't put that in my video about opiates. I guess I forgot. That was one of my first introductions to opiates. Okay, anyways, that's not the point. The point is, I got fucking caught because I'm a fucking idiot. Whatever you're thinking, I did not have sex. I can't believe I said that. Covered in fucking mud and leaves and dirt. You should have seen the shower I took the next morning. I mean, I gunked up the whole sink, like, or the whole tub. Like, just the water did not run clear for like a good 10 minutes or some shit. Like, I was literally fucking filthy. Like, it was so bad. And I don't know. I don't remember if my mom called the other girl's mom. I don't know. I don't remember none of that shit. I just remember I got grounded. I only got grounded for a week, though. So for having strict parents, they kind of were pretty chill about that. And I still got to see my boyfriend after that, even though they knew I had sex with him in the backyard. Which means that he was willing to trespass on their property. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm surprised they let him see me again. But, yeah. That was the first time I ever got caught being fucked up. Oh, that's such an embarrassing story. I'm going to go ahead and go. Just remember that there's always hope that tomorrow will be a better day.